Hey folks, how you doing? Rev Paul here from St. Augustine of Canterbury with this week's message from the motorcycle. It's kind of like a truck. We'll pretend for this week. It's great to have you back here as we gather together on the 1st of October. We are here on Saturday, October the 1st, out for a beautiful ride in the county as I've had the opportunity to go out and enjoy some open roads and watch some changing leaves and just a beautiful day for a ride. It's been a fantastic couple of days as we've journeyed from the end of September into the beginning of October. A beautiful day today as the community of St. Augustine came out in droves this morning, a good 10 or 12 of us at least, who gathered together to do some cleanup around the property, which was really exciting to see. Great opportunity to clean up some weeds and cut down some plants, sadly, in preparation for fall and winter. It's coming whether we want it or not. And just a good chance to clean some windows and sweep some sidewalks and that kind of thing. So thank you to everybody who came out and took part in that. Just a great turnout and a good lunch and just a good fellowship together. So thank you to everybody for that. As we make our way towards worship tomorrow, of course, tomorrow is the 2nd of October. We're going to be celebrating at St. Augustine anyway. Tomorrow we're going to celebrate the blessing of the pets. So if you happen to have a furry or a feathered or a finned friend who you think you need to bring to church with you, please feel free to bring them along. We'll gather at 9 o'clock at St. Augustine on Wyandotte Street East and bless those pets as part of our worship service tomorrow, as well as blessing each other as the caretakers of those pets. Now, I know in Scripture it tells us that in Genesis in particular, that God gave authority over all of these creatures to us humans of sort. And sometimes we have them, we make a mistake and we understand authority a little bit incorrectly. Authority isn't about some sort of dictatorship or some sort of overwhelming power that we have over the birds of the air and the creatures of the land. But no, in fact, that authority is our responsibility. Our responsibility to care for nature and our responsibility to care for those animals who God has entrusted to our care. And I just thought just a perfect spot here as I was out and about in the county to be able to stop and listen to the wind in the trees and listen to the birds chirping and listen to the sounds like crickets off in the distance as I realized that important part of what it is we're called to, especially as we prepare to gather together. And I know lots of churches are doing blessing of the pets services as we approach, of course, St. Francis Day, St. Francis being the patron saint of all of those critters. And we really take that opportunity to be able to be in God's presence, to be in creation. And it's a beautiful time of year for that. The days aren't quite as hot. The evenings are cooling off and comfortable to go out for a walk. The leaves are changing colors and they look absolutely beautiful as they do so. So why not take advantage of that and step out and really see what it means to be responsible for all of this beauty that's before us. Of course, that responsibility goes well beyond just making sure that the plants are watered and the pets are fed. That means we have a responsibility to care for the world, for all of that environment that surrounds us. And I think it's an important part for us to remember that that is part of our call to ministry. That is part of our call to serve creation. I know lots of our community churches have been celebrating the season of creation, and it wraps up tomorrow morning, if I'm not mistaken, with the last Sunday of that journey. But that last Sunday doesn't mean that the season of creation is over. It means that we need to take those lessons we've learned. It means we need to take those sermons we've heard, those messages that have been declared, and put them into action in the world. So as we enter this month of October, this month that's marked off at the beginning anyway by the Feast of St. Francis, I'd encourage you to consider what you can do for the environment this month. Can you step up and buy a tree at Point Pelee and support the ongoing work of Parks Canada, or even go for a walk and offer some financial support to a provincial park or a municipal park in the area? Will it just be a matter of declaring, yes, when that Facebook message pops up that says, do you support the work of the World Wildlife Foundation and whatever other organizations are out there that are serving and caring for those animals that we've been given the authority to watch over? So I encourage you to do that this month, to take October as an opportunity with the changing seasons to maybe do a change in your world. What is it that you can do differently to support God's creation? Who knows what that might turn into? Message me back and let me know. Feel free to send me an email or a text message or whatever it is that you do, and let me know what you've done that's different for the environment this year than what you've done in months and years before. For the community of St. Augustine, just a couple of quick announcements. First of all, we have a couple of events coming up. First of all, next Sunday, of course, is National Thanksgiving. Lots of communities celebrating Harvest Thanksgiving this weekend, but National Thanksgiving is next weekend, and we're going to be decorating the church, of course, as we typically do, but we're doing something a little bit differently. We're asking folks to not bring in pumpkins and gourds and all of those beautiful decorative parts of God's creation that we often use at the front of the church. We want to make sure that everything that comes in this year is something that is edible. So whether it's a bag of apples or a bag of potatoes or a squash that is the kind of squash that one eats, bring those items in. We're going to bring all of those items together on Thursday. That's this coming Thursday, the 6th of October. Details in the email as to exactly what time to bring those items by. But we're also going to be welcoming canned and boxed goods as well, because we need to start filling up that cupboard that hangs out beside the church in anticipation of the important release of Dawn's Angel Cupboard, which is coming soon. I promise you it's coming soon. More details about that in the weeks to come. But bring in all of those food items, and we'll make sure that everything, whether it's canned or boxed or fresh, will be used to decorate the church this coming Sunday, October the 9th, as we celebrate National Thanksgiving. As well, a couple of other items. October the 16th, we're going to be taking the opportunity to have a ministry fair, an opportunity for you to look and see what are the ministries of the church as we make our way out of the COVID cocoons. What are the ministries of the church that need support, that need your help, not necessarily your financial support, but your actual physical support, you being present to help the ministries of the church. There's lots of them available, and certainly we need lots of volunteers. So if that's something that you'd like to investigate, come on out and join us on Sunday the 16th of October, as we'll have a little coffee hour and an opportunity to check out all the ministries of the church. Also, this month, we are in October. It is now the month of our 10th anniversary as a community of St. Augustine. Hard to believe that it's 10 years already since the community first gathered back in October of 2012. We're going to celebrate that 10th anniversary with a luncheon on the last Sunday in October. So that'll be Sunday, October the 30th. We're going to have a luncheon following worship. So more details to follow about that, but mark your calendars to join us for lunch on Sunday, October the 30th, as we take the time to celebrate the anniversary of St. Augustine and everything that brought us to St. Augustine, other communities that we've been part of as well. I think that's enough for right now. Please make sure you check the email for any necessary links and so on to any of these events that I've spoken of, and of course the links for Sunday worship. We'll gather in person at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. That's October the 2nd. And then we will also gather at 11:30 for our Facebook Live online worship. So please make sure you join us at one of those two places. And of course, our online worship is available anytime through the week by just going to going to the Sense YouTube channel. You can find our weekly services there. So no excuse to not connect with us over the course of the week. And I look forward to seeing that you've been part of our community somewhere, either in person or online. For right now, it's about time for me to get back on the bike. It's starting to get a little warm. I need some air moving again. So keep the shiny side up and the rubber side down. Have a great and wonderful week, and we can't wait to see you again soon. For right now, this is Rev Paul in this week's Message from the Bike, as we say goodbye and talk to you soon. Bye for now.